the person has so many shots, left, top, drone shot, whatever. I was starting to question whether my prediction was correct. Apparently it wasn't. No tea, no shade. I cannot deal. That should be banned. But I mean, like, who am I? I'm just a freaking fan. I mean, what do I know, right? Annyeonghaseyo chingadil, this is Korean Kim and welcome back to my channel. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification button. And please follow me on my Twitter, Korean Kim, Instagram, Korean Kim, and Facebook, koreankim.ph. This is the first time that I'm gonna do this. I'm actually gonna talk about a K-drama that I just watched last night. Finished watching at about like 12 midnight. It's Memories of the Alhambra. And it stars Hyunbin, Park Shin-hye, Chanyeol, and many other great actors. I've been watching it since its first episode on Netflix. And for the finale, this girl has some thoughts. I have thoughts and questions. So some of you might have seen my tweets about this, and I'll just put it out there at the very start. Memories of the Alhambra is the meeting that should have been an email. I'm not hating on the drama. I'm not hating on the actors. But I'm gonna, I have to talk about it. Well, just to give you guys an idea, I don't usually post about dramas until recently. I think that the K-dramas that I like are not the more conventional ones. Okay, just to put it out there, my favorite ones are Miseng, Reply 1997. I'm sure you guys have seen Reply, right? But yeah, I loved it for its being a pioneer. I mean, prior to Reply 1997, there was no one doing that kind of show. And they weren't using those cameras before that. I mean, as late as 2011, I remember that the cameras they were using were still not, it's not that like film-like quality yet. And that Reply came along and then boom, it was on TVN and it was on cable, but then at that time they got such high ratings. I digress. I'm not here to talk about Reply 1997. Signal, I loved Signal. So I guess I'm not, into that whole rom-com or romantic drama kind of K-dramas. Okay, now that I've put it out there, can I just say that production-wise, we cannot really say anything about the production of Memories of the Alhambra. They shot in Spain and of course Korea. They didn't scrimp on the money when it came to the budget. You really cannot say anything about the production design, the graphics, the editing. I'm talking about those things because as some of you may know, I'm also working in production. I'm also a director and I'm also a writer. So those things I notice. By the way, please don't mind. My husband is here at the back, still sleeping. Because first thing in the morning, I wake up, put on some clothes and some lipstick and just, went on cam to share my feels. So when Memories of the Alhambra started to air, I think in December, I was like, tweeted here, I'm gonna put up the tweet. I even tweeted that it was gonna be the next Goblin because fresh concept, high production value, and you have really major stars, Hyunbin and Park Shin-hye, at the forefront of this drama. So there was really no way that it can go wrong. What I liked about it was that a lot of the people, the gamers that I know, actually started watching the drama themselves because it's like you got the best of both worlds. You got the girls for the love story part and then the gamers because of the virtual reality gaming concept. I was really rooting for this drama, and then around I think the 5th to 6th episode, it's suddenly what happened? I actually felt betrayed somehow by the treatment, and maybe I expected too much, or maybe I just thought that they weren't gonna go that route. But man, The pacing was killing me. I don't really mind that there's a love line. I mean, it would have been solid, in my opinion, if there was no love line. And it was all about, the concept about the gaming and the corporate craziness. But, I mean, it's okay. It's okay to have the love line there. But you know how they do it in K-dramas where one scene lasts for 5 minutes with the background music, and then the person has so many shots, left, top, drone shot, whatever, and it's like cut to cut to cut to cut, fade to fade to fade to fade to, and it's like a whole freaking music video of them just staring at each other, or like waiting under the rain, or like this kind of acting. I can't. I cannot deal. That should be banned. That was very slow and painful somehow. At that point, I was starting to question whether my prediction was correct. Apparently it wasn't. Now, going back, I mean, we're talking about the finale. So my questions are, well, first, not questions, just thoughts and opinions. Which are mine, by the way. You don't have to share this, and you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. I love EXO. I'm not particularly a Chanyeol stan, but I felt like his character, Seju, should have been there more. I mean, he should have had more exposure. But, I'm not gonna fault the writer. That's how she wanted to, put together the story. But as a viewer, I just felt like, he was a very effective character. In fairness to Chanyeol, he pulled off the 17-year-old, geeky guy, gamer guy who was scared for his life. And, mad props to him for that. But I think if he had been there more, he would have added more texture to the dynamics of the characters, because he was only there with the Marco. And speaking of Marco, Seju kept on bringing up that he didn't kill Marco. Okay, I got it, but who fucking killed Marco? Who killed Marco then? I mean, when he was found, he didn't have any like bullet wounds or like any lacerations on his body that would suggest that he was killed like physically. He could only die within the game, which means that it was only the master or Seju who could have killed him. But it wasn't answered, or maybe it was just implied that Seju killed Marco. Now, another thing that I want to know, and I'm not sure if it was explained and I just didn't hear it, or it was really never explained, was that when the game was reset and it was open to the public, was it explained if they could get hurt physically? I mean, like, they could get hurt the way that Jinu and the other ones who did the test were hurt? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, just like tell me on the comment section. I could be wrong, but that was confusing for me because that part was not answered. That's why it's one of my questions, whether or not people could be physically hurt in the game after it was reset. Now, another thing that I tweeted about a couple of weeks ago was Park Shin-hye's acting. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this woman. She's one of the nicest Korean celebrities that I've met personally in my life, and I think she's a great actress. She's been doing this since she was 13 years old. But I think, honestly, to be honest, and I know a lot of you agree with me on this, I think she has to expand her horizons as an actress and look for roles that would challenge her, I think, and take her out of that mold, because it's getting a bit one-dimensional, if you know what I mean. Like, I wouldn't think she's Hiju in this show. She's just Park Shin-hye, if you know what I mean. I'm also watching Sky Castle, and we'll be talking about that next week. But I tweeted before that Kang Yebin's acting was actually much better than he just acting in those dramas. No tea, no shade. It's not her fault. It's not Park Shin-hye's fault. I'm sure it's the director's call to make her cry that way, to make her to throw lines that way. I mean, I think she should do something like Lady Vengeance or Woman of Dignity, that kind of drama. But I mean, like, who am I? I'm just a freaking fan. I mean, what do I know, right? A minor thing that I want to mention also is the PPL, or the product placement. Don't get me wrong, I don't really freaking care. I mean, they have to make their cash and get their coins. But I mean, in the Korean online communities, everyone was like going crazy because of the PPLs, and they were saying that next to Hyunbin and Park Shin-hye, the character who had the most exposure was Alexis. And Torreta had more exposure than Hyunbin in the final episode. So, I mean, it seems like some people have a problem about it. I personally don't. I don't really care. And to wrap it all up, I can say that I'll give this drama a 7 out of 10. Just for the production value of it. I mean, they shot in Spain and Korea and had amazing graphics. And yeah, it's really a feast for the eyes. In Korea, it had 8.43% average ratings, which is not so big considering, I'm sure that they were expecting it to be more. I hope to see Hyunbin and Park Shin-hye in a new drama soon, maybe separately. And I look forward to more powerhouse acting for both. So I hope you guys enjoyed my mini rant and rave. And if you guys have any thoughts or comments about the show, Memories of the Alhambra, please let me know in the comment sections. I'm sure you don't agree with some of the things that I said. I'm sure you agree with some of the things that I said. But whatever it is, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So guys, I'll see you guys on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.